Assalamualaikum and very good day to panels and everyone watching this video. I am AMIN Nazri bin Hisam, a mechanical engineering student from UiTM Shah Alam with an ID of 2019422608. Will be presenting my final year project proposal. About a little bit about my final year project part 1. My supervisor is Dr. Noria binti Yusof. The title for my project is Effective Receiving Management for Front Panel Assembly Parts at Receiving Area at AISB. For those who are not common with car parts manufacturer, might not well know what is AISB. AISB is an acronym for Automotive Industry Sdn Bhd, which specialize in manufacturing car parts for local car makers, including exhaust, front or instrumental panel, thermostat, sport bar, and much more. The purpose of my study is to improve the receiving process efficiency at receiving area of AISB. Moving on, now I will be explained on the background of my study. The research are based on the receiving process, as the title suggests. A receiving process is a set of activities involved in receiving and handling goods in a company. Some of the steps include inspection, receiving, storing, and replenishment. Inspection is a process of goods that are being inspected of its quality and quantity to ensure the requirements are met and match the purchasing or the details, while receiving is a process of the goods being formally received after being checked through inspection process. While in the other hand, storing is a process of goods that are being stored in appropriate location such as warehouse. Lastly, replenishment. It is an act of making sure the materials meet the necessary supplies to guarantee a smooth production line and meet the customer demand on time. Next, here I listed 5 common problems that our receiving team in every company are facing. Number 1 is receiving error, where the receiving team might receive a wrong parts or quantity or no transaction being done. Thus, the importance of inspection process are being highlighted. Next, it is time consuming, given the worker have to walk back and forth between receiving the goods and storing it in appropriate location. Next one is poor facility or plant layout, which will cause low workflow speed and efficiency. Number 4 is unclear procedure for the worker to follow. Given example, no documented procedure will cause worker to be confused of the workflow. The last common problem is inaccurate inventory data, which cause the material to be untraceable or very hard to tally the actual quantity of the goods with the quantity in the systems. These are the summary of my literature review. The first one is written by Varsha and Dr. Villas with a title of Application of 7 Quality Control Tools for Continuous Improvement of Manufacturing Processes. In their research, they explain the importance of 7 QC tools which will lead to minimizing error and weakness or defects in a procedure or systems. Next journal is written by Anita and her teams with a title of Improving Effectiveness and Efficiency of Assembly Line with a stopwatch time study and balancing activity elements. The journal explained on how to determine the step time and provide recommendations to achieve balanced working line. The measurement had a significant impact on the effectiveness and efficiency of the production activities with their approach using the time study method. Both journals are being used as my main guidance in writing this research to achieve the goals. Before constructing a research, there must be problems needed to be solved. In my cases, the problem statements are based on 4 factors. The first one is the method. The method used in handling goods at AISB receiving area are seem to be inefficient and there are things that can be improved. The second factor is the time, where the process involved are time consuming and with proper research and data, reduced time can be achieved. Next one is the equipment used by the workers is not conducive for long working hours, which lead to longer the need to complete certain tasks, thus causing it to be necessary to spend more time to complete their task. Hence, here are some of my objectives. First one is to study the existing receiving process at the receiving area for front panel part to identify whichever process that can be improved. Second one is to analyze customer complaint data of front panel assembly for 3 months, starting from August 2022 until October 2022. Lastly, propose a suitable and reliable solution and justify it by performing cost analysis. Next, the scope of my final year project. The scope of my studies are limited to receiving area of AISB and focusing on the front panel parts only. With a limitations of the project including need for accurate and up-to-date information on the process involved, prevent from oversimplification on the flow chart for process mapping, and the flow chart are subjectivity of the charting process. In achieving the best data, here are some of my methodology to be applied. First one, using 7 QC or quality control tools. I will be documenting receiving process involved in a flowchart, plotting the common defect from the customer complaints into a check sheet and etc. Second one is to evaluate the cost and benefits of options when proposing solution and justifying it. Lastly, use time study method to measure the time taken to complete tasks of the worker at receiving area of AISP. Lastly, the expected result from my research are improve the efficiency of the receiving process at AISB by identifying and eliminate the inefficiency in the process. Next, reduce the time taken for the worker to complete their daily tasks. Next, better understanding of task time by providing proper flowchart. Next, saving costs or expenditure of AISB by calculating the money flow using cost analysis. And last but not least, improve overall performance to support smoother operation of the production line. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching the video.